back alleys of Birmingham host a succession of secrets. England's second city has more miles of canal than Venice. Who'd have thought it? And beside the barges sits the home of one of badminton's most prestigious events. Welcome to the Utility Arena. It's day 3 of the 2024 All England Championship as part of the HSBC BWF World Tour. And this is Liz Crawley, who's part of our access control team. Today's volunteer bringing in the World Tour Finals trophy. And of course, that's what the world's best players will be competing for in China in the middle of December. Plenty of prestige and a host of prize money as well in that event. And prestige and prize money also applies to the All England.
This is the YONEX All England Open Badminton Championships 2024. Time to welcome the players onto the Minoru Yoneyama court. In the women's singles, let's hear it for the #1 seed from Korea, An Se-young. And her opponent from India, Pusarla Sindhu.
Well, two massive names to get us underway on day 3 here in Birmingham. Can PD Sindhu do what she's never done before in 6 previous attempts and beat the world #1? Clever money probably says no, but you write the Indian off at your peril. So 6-love it is on the head-to-head, which is a worry as far as Sindhu's concerned. In fact, the only time she took her opponent to 3 games was the last meeting. That was at the Asia Championships a year ago. You almost forget sometimes how young An Se-young is. She only turned 22 last month, the world #1. And of course she was the female player of the year last year after taking down the World Championships and the Asian Games as well. 21 World Tour titles. 8 last year, including this one. She's the defending champion, she's the world #1, she's the Olympic favourite. She's already won the Malaysian Open and the French Open this year. French was only last week. You were there, Chris. How impressive was An Se-young? Chris Langridge alongside me today.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say, for me personally, she's not at her best, just because when she was at her best, I mean, she was spellbinding. You know, she was dominating the world. No one could get that close to her. Last week, the thing for me that she did incredible was she came back from a massive deficit in regards to final game playing Tai Tzu Yung, who was playing incredible in the semi-final, 2016 down, and she managed to pull kind of a rabbit out of a hat, as it were, and came back. And this is where she is such a disciplined, determined fighter at such a young age, showing incredible experience there to come back against one of the very best in the world.
PV Sindhu is now ranked number 10. She was as high as number 2, but it's a way back. Of course, she's won successive Olympic medals, silver in Rio, bronze in Tokyo, and the world title in 2019. She had issues, or she has had issues with injuries. Stress fracture 18 months ago, missed half the season. Knee injury last autumn. And it's kind of a familiar story when players get to that kind of age. And of course, 28 isn't old, but in context, with the likes of An Se-young only 22, just 22, just makes you think the recovery period is longer and all the rest of it. 4 World Tour titles she has, but 20 months since she last lifted a trophy. Got past Yvonne Lee, who had to retire, unfortunately, after Sindhu had won the opening game. So she saved her legs, at least, in that opener, but she's going to need absolutely everything at her disposal to get through here. David Evans is the man in the chair from England, and Nicola Reid is the service judge. What about PV Sindhu, Chris? I mean, it feels like a changing in the guard, doesn't it? Changing in the guard in women's singles with the likes of An Se-young and obviously Chen Yufei now. Maybe Sindhu, just the wrong age, but she's such a classy player, you can never write her off.
Definitely, and last week for me, she got better and better each match. First round, I think she was, you know, she'd been out for quite some time with an injury. Yes, she played the Asian Team Championships the week or a few weeks before, but she's still coming back. She was out for quite a duration, but each match she played last week, she looked better and better. And then in the end, in the quarterfinal, she lost to Chen Yufei, but just. And Chen Yufei is, you know, one of these top 5 women that have kind of a hold over the rest. So I'm excited to see what she can do today.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Pusarla v Sindhu, India. And on my left, An Se-young, Korea. An Se-young to serve. Level. Play.
An Se-young starts favourite against anyone these days. Let's see how tough PV Sindhu can make life for her here. Be a big turn up. Well, quality rally for starters. Sindhu just wide, but if that's a taste of what's in store for us, it's going to be a terrific morning.
That's why Sindhu's so dangerous, her overhead attack. She's got the angle, she's got the power and the placement.
Well, that is a confidence builder, isn't it? Just the second point. Food for thought for the world number 1.
Yeah, again, fantastic placement. It's a good start from Sindhu. And what I saw last week from An Se-young, she always started, it looked like just a little bit slow, a little bit off the pace.
Was that an air shot from the world champ?
Yeah, I'm not sure if maybe the shuttle just clipped the tape and took it over her racket. Can't quite see from that angle. But it's a good smash, but I don't think there's anything too phenomenal about it.
Well, Sindhu off to a flyer here.
Service over. 2-4. Pusarla.
One thing Nancy Young does so well, considering, you know, she's still such a young player, she just reads the game so well. Her concept, her understanding of where the shuttle's going to go and what to look for is so mature at such a young age, and this is why she progressed so quickly. Such a young age to be world number one.
First ever junior high school student on the Korean national team. Which is amazing when you think about it. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, double mass, 4 o'clock, playing international badminton.
Thank you.
She did incredible there. Because I think there was a slight miss hit on the overhead, and Sindhu read it, took it so early, and she managed to chase it down and then stayed calm, got herself right back into the rally.
The other thing I always noticed with Anse and Chris, speed around the court. You so rarely see her struggle to get to the shuttle.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is just she reads it so well. As soon as really Sindhu broke the string and didn't have much option, but something last week that was really evident for me personally. Tai Tzu-Ying was playing pretty much everyone, and Tai Tzu-Ying has this phenomenal creativity, deception. Didn't phase Anse Young because Anse Young can kind of see through that, as it were. She just reads it so well. It's so hard to get her out of position because she always, you know, she has a good concept of where it's going. Very fluid and smooth in her movement.
4 points on the spin for the Korean.
And this is the thing, even there, you know, it was a short clear, and we've seen Sindhu, she's devastating on the attack, but then Sindhu's just forced the next shot because she knows how good. You can see a short lift there, short clear I should say, and Sindhu there's just forcing it, but she knows she has to play a really good shot to win the point against the strong defence of Anse Young. Wow. Big power smash there from Sindhu.
Attacks the best forward defence, they say. Take that.
And that's impossible to get back. Sindhu read it perfect, got behind it. Big power smash down the line.
Service over, 7-5.
And the interesting thing is, you know, Sindhu, there's no doubt about it, she got better and better last week. Anse Young, I do also feel, is getting better coming back from her injury. But this is Sindhu's toughest opponent. She's got the biggest deficit out of all the players that she's played against, Anse Young.
And let's be fair, Sindhu's made a reasonable start to this match, but Anse Young makes so few unforced errors. All the points that Sindhu's won, she's effectively won herself, whereas she has thrown in a few unforced errors.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that. And this is where, for me, she's such a mature, disciplined player, Anse Young. You know, she doesn't give any gifts. She started a little bit sluggish since after the fourth point. She's kind of in her flow, and she grinds her opponent down. She bleeds points at them because she is so consistent. And this is the big challenge for Sindhu. She's having to work very hard to win the points. You know, An Se-young's not gifting them. That's just a great shot, loose block, but then on it, very quick, very aggressive. Sindhu really taking the game to An Se-young, and that's what she's got to do, but by doing that, there are going to be some unforced errors that will creep in.
Item that error. Sindhu right back in this opening game.
Just like that, before Sindhu's even played that shot, An Se-young's there. She's read it to perfection, and this is what she's so good at. Gets up here, good shot, and moving forward straight away, before Sindhu's even hit it. But she's taking a calculated risk, but the thing is, she takes these calculated risks, she gets them right 9 times out of 10, and this is where it's so impressive at such a young age.
Yeah, she's just a master at knowing when the reward outweighs the risk. Mid-game break then, and An Se-young with a 3-point lead.
근데 거기에 소음도 같이 같이 들어오거나 한번 빨리 잡아놓고 놔주고 한번 잡아놓고 놔주고 약간 그걸 섞어야 돼. 타이밍 한번 뺏어놔야죠. 지금 또
Looking at the head-to-head, 6-0 in the favour of An Se-young, you know, and there's a reason why the style for Sindhu. Sindhu's a very attacking player, but An Se-young's defence is so solid, so consistent. It makes it so difficult because Sindhu then almost has to go to a slightly different variation of her game. That's a brilliant rally. Really well constructed rally. Fantastic forehand slice cross court there. You can see An Se-young's in so much trouble and the quality of her shot's not quite good enough. Look, fantastic vision there to go over the top. If it had gone flatter, I think An Se-young could have intercepted it. Played to absolute perfection there, and this is where she's so good when she's attacking. Working the rally, gets a short lift there, good placement, and that is an incredible shot. An Se-young can't even get close to it.
Service over. 12-10.
Nice bit of skill from An Se-young, good placement, and it's, you know, you can see Sindhu there a bit frustrated because it's a good shot, but it's not a devastating shot. Just couldn't quite read where it was going.
That's ridiculous.
10.
Yeah, and I mean, that sort of sums up her defence. There's no way she should have got that back. That's a great clear, great punch clear. Steps in, fully committed as you should. The control, you know, and see how she makes it look easy. That is not easy. You know, she's got no time, and this is where she is so good, her defence. Absolutely brilliant shot.
Service over. 11.
And this is the thing in ladies singles, men's singles, at the elite level, if your attack isn't quite good enough, you then have to chase it down, and you can see here, not a bad attack, but it's too comfortable for Sindhu to be able to hit a cross block, and it's the extremity, the full distance of the court that Anse Young would have to chase that down.
Well, they believe. Absolutely. Well, I was going to say arrow straight. I thought that was on the line. It was called out, and so Young understandably is challenged. And this is a big moment. Difference between 14-11 or 13-12.
Yeah, and also just with the momentum, you know, Sindhu managing to pull back in, or does the gap extend slightly?
Keeping us waiting, just to heighten the drama. Here we go. Yeah, looked like it clipped the line. And there's the three-point lead back.
14-11.
Each woman has 2 challenges per game if they're right, as in that case. They keep it, so Anse Young still has 2.
15-11.
Done her again.
This is the thing where, you know, for me, Sindhu, she's got to be a little bit careful on that. I totally understand the full commitment, but I think she's got to stop it off, or she's got to turn it, because she's going, see it here, she's going almost at the body slightly away. But Anse Young is exceptional at that. And then obviously exposes herself, Sindhu, by doing that.
17-11.
I mean, some players, when they play those shots, it's almost like a reaction. But with Anse Young, it's a measured, controlled shot.
Yeah, I would agree. You know, sometimes it's almost a quick, you don't even almost know you're doing it.
Instinct.
Yeah, instinct. But Anse Young, she's a level above. She knows exactly what she's doing. It's like she slows time down. Phenomenal shot there. Absolutely brilliant placement from Sindhu.
She's played so many good shots. You kind of think 17-12 doesn't really do her play justice, doesn't really tell the whole story. But it just illustrates how good Anse Young is.
Yeah, and that is exactly it, you know. Unless you're at your best, and again, great block. You've got to be, you know, you've got to be so disciplined against Anse Young, because she is. You know, she gives you nothing. She works so hard. Even when you think there's an opening, she somehow finds a solution, a key to kind of unlock that door.
Someone rather coolly said they made the courts here grey this week to match the Birmingham weather. I think that's harsh. Certainly slides like that don't do that knee any good.
13,
Some of the
17.
strapping she's got on it. None the worse for wear though, and still a 4-point lead.
14,
I think just talking about the strapping, this is the big unknown. What kind of condition is the knee actually in? I mean, it's a reasonable amount of strapping on it, and didn't have that long off really with it, and she's come back in. It'd be so interesting to know, you know, is there still discomfort? Can she train fully? I mean, she's obviously playing at a very high level, but we know she's not quite back to 100%.
15,
Yeah, you just wonder.
17.
I mean, you don't want to go into an Olympics cold, do you? You want to have a certain number of tournaments under your belt. At the same time, you don't want to take any risks.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. That's why Olympic qualifying is such a tough one, because if it was a different year, maybe she would have taken just a little bit more time. But you can't, because it takes time to get back in. Brilliant.
Well, Sindhu
16,
fighting back
17.
gallantly here. Within a point now. Not so long ago, Young was 5 clear.
Pusarla Sindhu challenges.
I think
All
this is
out.
a little wishful. Sometimes you can get an idea just from the players' body language if they genuinely think that it was a bad call, but I think this one, I'm not going to tax Hawkeye too much.
Challenge unsuccessful. 1 challenge remaining. Service over. 18, 16. Play.
And this is the thing with Nancy, everything's so smooth and graceful, and you know, time is the key to, you know, success of everything. And she just does manage to make it look so controlled and so comfortable, and you know, she looks in balance. She does seem to slow everything down.
And it's the other thing about great champions, when they need to find an extra gear, when they are genuinely threatened, they find a way.
And just before this run, Ransa Young, you know, as soon as she pulled it right back with a massive, I mean, the quality of that's literally just off the tape and so tight to the net. Incredible shot quality. Yeah, just stopping that big 5-point run by Sindhu.
9 points here for the #1 seed. Still 3 of them. Just inquiring, a polite inquiry of umpire David Evans as to whether the racket was over the net, but umpire was quite happy it wasn't. You wouldn't call it a McEnroe-esque complaint, that one. Very polite. She hasn't given it up, has she, Sindhu? She will fight until the very end here. Hopefully no damage. Hearts in mouths around the world for Young fans when that happened.
Yeah, I think thankfully she's fine, but that was quite scary because she just, yeah, back foot just slipped, just went under her. That could have been a lot worse. And this is why it's so integral that, you know, there's no kind of sweat, anything on the court, because it makes it slippery, and the speed these players move at, a tiny little thing like that, you know, you slip over, it could have been so much worse. Just thankfully she's fine.
19-20.
So 3 game points saved, 1 to go. It's in, and it's 21-19, and just as I say, they find a way. She had the slip, she had the Sindhu fight back to contend with, but the world number 1 has taken down the opener, 21-19, and leads by a game to love.
Just don't look at the score only. Just play around. When the rally is going on, just think of that one point. That's all. Don't look at the score. See if it works. Okay?
Well, the practice courts are a hive of activity, and the players who are going to be on our show court next, which is women's doubles, Miara and Sakuramoto against Rahema and Ramadanti. On the practice courts now. Never quite know when you're going to be summoned, unless you're on first. What an opener we've got, Nancy and Peterson. We'll see those ladies shortly, or maybe not for an hour or so. Sindhu can find a fight back from somewhere against this woman. It won't be any consolation to Sindhu, but the 21-19 scoreline is a much more accurate reflection of that first game than when it was 17-12. And it looked like it was going to be a one-sided look.
Service over. 1 love.
Just highlighting the incredibly fine line between not just these two players, but the elite badminton. There were 2 rallies where, there was one especially where An Se-young got one back that was kind of mesmerising, as in she almost didn't have a right to get it back. You know, that 1 point, that can almost define the first game. Do you think something Sindhu's got to be careful of is when she gets in that good position, punching too flat into a corner?
2 love.
Well, remember, An Se-young made a slow and sluggish start to the opening game. The history repeating here.
Service over. 1, 2.
Errors count, Sindhu have way more, but I wouldn't be surprised if we had a winners count. Sindhu's probably hit more than her opponent. Clean winners.
3-2.
I think there's something Han Se-young does so well. She absorbs so much, and then all of a sudden she almost surprises you, catches you off guard with a more aggressive attacking shot and just increases the speed of the rally. Skill at the end there, lovely reverse slice. There, gets up, lovely.
She has got happy memories of Birmingham. PV Sindhu, she won the gold at the Commonwealth Games here in this city a couple of years ago. Albeit that was down the road at the National Exhibition Centre. Actually had the gymnastics in this arena, the Com Games.
Service over, 4-3.
It was interesting in the break here, Cindy's coach is just telling her just to stay calm, don't focus too much on the score, take 1 point at a time. And it's obviously a very simplistic thing to say, but it's so integral. It's so easy to get swept up with what the score is. Focus on that more than the tactics, the instructions that you've been given.
It must be soul-destroying in so many ways to play against Han Se-young, because you kind of hit her with your best shot, and it comes back with an apparent minimum of effort.
And this is the thing, and this is what leads players into, forcing it or making a mistake. And that situation there, Sindhu, is so frustrating. You've worked the rally, you can play it, but you make that decision and it just lands on the line, and it's just because the shot quality from Han Se-young is so good consistently. Again there, the defence for Han Se-young in this rally, exceptional.
Well, she had to play 4 or 5 wonderful shots to win the rally, but win it she did.
But that's exactly the point, there. Han Se-young does so well, and you can't hit the nail on the head. It's not one good shot, it's not 2 good shots, it is 4 or 5, and this is the difficult thing, to keep playing these very high level shots, and this is what leads to a few unforced errors or mistakes. And then the other side of the coin, almost from nowhere, Han Se-young plays that, an incredibly well-placed cross-court slice. She really does change the kind of dynamic of the rally and the tempo. So hard for her opponents to kind of feel comfortable.
Little good fortune never hurts. That's your Sindhu.
And this is it, from nowhere. She just changes the speed of the rally, gets up, gets behind it. Really well-placed attack.
That's when you feel the world's against you. Han Se-young with the net cord. Sindhu hits the tape and it comes back on her side.
Service over, 5-4.
thing at the moment with An Se-young. You know, she's so far ahead in the world rankings of the rest. She's 12,518 points ahead of the world #2, and if you win the All England, it's 12,000 points. So she's almost a whole tournament ahead of the rest of the world. She's been that consistent over the last 12 months, and that's including the big injury that she had.
Yeah, well, when you win 8 tournaments in 1 year, and then you kick off the year with a couple more, yeah, it's absolutely astonishing, her roll of honour.
The crazy thing is, when you look at her ranking, it takes the 10 best tournaments as one team event in, and then out of the rest of the 9 other tournaments, 8 of them are wins at tournaments and 1 runner-up, which was the Asian Championships.
Brilliant shot, and it's 11-6 at the mid-game break, and you kind of feel that doesn't really reflect the play we've seen, because Sindhu is not performing badly. But An Se-young's just different class at the moment.
Not good is okay because you have too much power outside. Some safe, waiting for opportunity coming in. Yeah. Have it to get them. Yeah, okay.
11-6. Play. Service over. 7-11.
I didn't manage to catch too much of it. Some of what the Indian coaches were instructing Sindhu on was just trying to guide her to give her the belief, because in a situation like this, you lose the first game and you're down in the second, and your opponent's clearly playing well. That belief can just sneak away from you. It's almost like a little devil on your shoulder trying to give you that doubt, and just instructing her, you've got to keep believing.
Service over.
Every elite player out there at some point will start to doubt themselves, and it's the worst thing. As soon as you doubt yourself, everything starts to slip away from you. There's only one player I can think of that maybe that's not quite the case, which is Anders Andersen. He has phenomenal belief in himself, which is such a unique and amazing attribute.
Just took it in by a big margin. That was a strange misjudgment by An Se-young.
Pusarla Sindhu challenges called out.
Clutching at straws, I fancy. Look to be well beyond the baseline.
Challenge unsuccessful. 1 challenge remaining. Service over. 13-8. Play. 9-14. Service over. 15-9.
These are just the gifts that no one can allow to give to a player of the caliber of An Se-young. Feels the rhythms going against Sindhu now. Lost a bit of flow in this match.
Well, barring a ridiculous turnaround, An Se-young's going to win this match, but it might sound a bit strange. I don't think Sindhu's going to have that many regrets, and in fact, in some ways, parts of her game I think she'll be really encouraged by.
It definitely passed of the match. She played incredibly well, and that first game, it was so tight. It really was. It was just she had these bigger deficits that she did incredible to pull back from. The second one's just slipped away. We had a patch over the last 6 points where a few cheaper mistakes have crept in. I think the big thing for Sindhu is to continue on this path of improvement. I know she's a player that's kind of changed badminton in India. It's amazing when you look at what she's done. A gold medal at the Worlds in 2019, a silver in 2017, 2018, a bronze in 2013, 2014.
Well, she is a massive sporting name in India, PV Sindhu. Saw a stat where I think only Virat Kohli, former captain of the India cricket team, and cricket obviously is almost a religion in that part of the world, but only Kohli can kind of command more for endorsements and stuff like that. She's an absolute heroine back at home.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that comes from winning the Olympic silver in 2016, and then obviously in 2020 Olympics, winning a bronze, a double Olympic medalist.
Yeah, first Indian woman to do that.
Service over. 19.
But the end
11.
looks nigh in this match because An Se-young has just been too good, and it's going to be 7-0 for An Se-young against the Indian. It's wide, and here are 9 match points
20.
for the
Match
number 1
point
seed.
11.
It's a super shot to finish with. It's only taken 41 minutes, 41 very entertaining minutes. So she's now won all 7 meetings against PV Sindhu, has An Se-young, and the number 1 seed and world champion and defending champion here, safely through to the quarterfinals.
Good.
Well, it's good to see. We had a horrible moment, didn't we, when she went down after that slip in the first game. We thought, oh, please, don't be serious. Doesn't look like it is. She's all smiles as she leaves the court. It was another subtle little shot that did the damage right at the end. So business as usual for the world number 1. Warm welcome back to the Utilita Arena here in Birmingham. And we've reached match number 2 on day 3, and it's women's doubles. First ever meeting between Miara and Sakuramoto of Japan and the ever popular Rahayu and Ramadanti of Indonesia. Here's how the women's doubles draw is taking shape.